happened in the 90s.
Sunday, Keenan does one of his famous impersonations and comes face to face with the real thing.
I'm Billy D. Williams.
I am confusing.
And all new in living color. And a varmint raids Al's garden.
I'm hunting wabbit.
And now it's payback time.
Kiss your bonny bunny butt goodbye, rabbit.
Watch Bundy versus Bunny.
At least he didn't shoot himself in the foot.
Give him a minute.
On the all new Married with Children Sunday.
I so wanted to be Jonathan Davis and Fred Durst when I was a teenager. Don't blame me for it.
Did you watch the newest Woodstock 99 documentary that's out on Netflix?
They made another one?
Oh my God.
Of course it's on Netflix and their $40 subscription.
Oh my God. It's great. And Jonathan Davis is hilarious in it. It's basically from the perspective of the people, the people putting the show on, and how much of a shit show just like the infrastructure was, and like the penny pinching and
literal shit show.
Yeah, it was yeah. I think it's like three episodes, but it's basically the one that was there an HBO one, I think.
Is it the same thing or what?
As far as, it's basically the same thing. Same, a bunch of crazy shit happened. And, they still interview like some of the people that went. So they were, people like, yeah, we're just there to party. And then people get crazy and they cover like the violence, just how crazy the fucking crowds got, because they were like, we're trying to fucking evoke the Woodstock of '69 and the love and all this. But then they have like Korn and Limp Bizkit at the height of their yeah, dude.
And Kid Rock.
But like people, they at one point one of the main dudes that set up like the original one was like, oh, we're gonna hand out candles to everybody. And this will be like our statement about gun violence or something, because it happened like right after Columbine. But then people started fires because they're just pissed off at this point because they've been like price gouged. There's nobody cleaning trash up because they didn't pay.
Some of those dudes were the trench coat wearers.
Oh, I'm for sure, dude. It's hilarious how bro it is though, because they have a lot of people covering like the crowds, and it's just like a lot of those people, like the Fremont Party people, Steve. Like
Brofest 99.
Yeah, dude. And they'll interview like these like cute little chicks. They're like, I was like 14, like they're to party. And then all of a sudden it's just like, you just see like guys like fucking encircling women with their tops off. And it's like, oh, okay. It's just a little out of hand here, guys.
Very, very Woody Allen.
Yeah, it was wild, but it was a good documentary. They are both good, but it's like it's not better than the HBO one. They just interview a few, like they get Jonathan Davis, and it's funny because he doesn't want to like talk shit about his buddies, obviously. So they're like, "What do you think about Fred Durst? Like, basically just bringing the crowd into like this feeding frenzy." He's like, Fred wanted to do what he does. He's cool. He's just like just trying not to talk shit. But then like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I forgot like when people were setting fires, they were like, hey man, can you like tell people to not do this? Like this is dangerous. And then they played that like Jimi Hendrix Fire song. It's like, God damn, guys, this is nuts.
It won't be my concern.
Flea's naked as fuck. Just,
oh yeah.
Jewel got sexually harassed off the stage. Basically, they're just like, you gotta go. Like, these Limp Bizkit fans are gonna rip you into shreds.
Huh? Yeah, they're gonna try to fondle you.
Yeah, like Sheryl Crow was the opening act,
followed by DMX.
Yeah, it's like Kill this bitch. Literally they have, one person I forgot about, Steve, that is a big part of this Netflix one. Do you remember the VJ Ananda Lewis?
I sure the fuck do.
Still looking great, by the way. But she was there with MTV. MTV was like getting harassed by the crowd and stuff, but like literally every video of like anybody that's a woman there is like they're doing an interview and you'll just hear like mad dudes like, fucking show us your tits. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Let me taste your butt.
Yeah, man. It's like, it's the same now, but it's just wild to watch. It's fucking hilarious.
I gotta watch that. Even though I watched the HBO Max version, I'm just a fan of most of the acts involved, man. Despite it all.
Oh yeah, fuck it, dude.
Yeah,
That's why you were playing Corn. I've been listening to that shit in the gym for like a week because we watched that shit. But it's just funny as fuck. I mean, it is. When I saw the crowds, it's amazing. I can't imagine what it would be like to be one of those performers, but at the same time, like the people in that crowd, that would have been terrifying as fuck.
I hate being in a room full of like 7 people like that. It's a bunch of Majids and
dude.
Mats.
It's a lot of like Fremont people, and then fucking it's just a lot of craziness.
Just imagine a sea of people, and I actually envied those kids that went when it happened, because you remember they had it on pay-per-view, like you could buy it and watch the performances, man. And I was like, dude, I so wish I was there, but like in reality, fuck no.
But what's crazy is, dude, they had the guy that was responsible for the pay-per-view part of it, and he's like, they didn't tell me what to do, so of course I went crazy with it. So he would just find the people that were a mess, like chicks with their tops off. Like it was an X-rated fucking pay-per-view because they did show the shit, but there was like a guy doing field reporting that was like, hey, what's going on? It's just like a chick fresh off a blowing some dude. Like, it's fucking wild as shit.
And it's all available on YouTube. Like, okay, so you can show a pair of tits on YouTube, but Vince McMahon, he's like, none of my fucking shit.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
But you can show full fucking human titties. Not cartoon titties, not droid robot titties, fucking real breasts.
My thing is
on
like
YouTube.
The chicks on this videos that they're because they're even on this Netflix thing, they're showing the chicks, they're showing the tits. There's no blurring of faces. So my thing is, you're a 19-year-old chick at Woodstock 99 back in the day. Maybe you have no regrets of doing that. In hindsight, you're like, yeah, I fucking had my fucking cans out, whatever. And then lo and behold, fucking 20 some years later, your fucking tits are out and you're watching Netflix with your family or some shit, like, oh shit.
Yeah. Mom?
Because there's a lot of dudes who are on camera saying some fucking straight up insane shit, dude. It's fucking wild, bro.
I'm totally sold now.
I think Ananda Lewis was like literally maybe one of 3 black people at Woodstock 99, Steve.
I'm quite certain. Not named Ice Cube or DMX, like outside of the performers. Yeah.
It was also hilarious because they interviewed Gavin Rossdale of Bush, because Bush had to go on after Korn, and Korn was like basically the one everyone was going to see for that.
Of course, that was the Friday night. Yeah.
But they had to go on after Korn, and Gavin Rossdale was like, I was fucking shitting me knickers, mate. Like, he was just like, he had to fucking pick it up. And to his credit, I'm a Bush fan.
I like me some Bush.
And they rocked it. They didn't get fucking garbage thrown at them like a significant amount of fucking people got.
Because Bush fits with the theme, man. I think Korn had that Friday night primetime slot. So Bush was kind of like, let's send them home, kind of like, but they still rocked it out. Got a machine hand swallowed. They got those kind of joints that make you like, okay, let's smoke a joint and fucking nod out. Or not nod out.
Oh, that's like make out music.
Some of them probably
They
did
were
nod
like
out.
getting people
Exactly.
back to the tents, like in that fuck mode. It wasn't like
Fuck them
aggressive
to sleep.
corn fucking. It wasn't.
Say something is what I like. I want to play.
I mean, definitely. I mean, it might have been on at some point in the background, just randomly when I was fucking it. So, but that's you don't want that. You don't need that.
I don't think I've ever fucked a corn, but I probably should. I'm
Maybe,
thinking about it.
Maybe it was on. It just happened to be on. Maybe it was on Buzz 106.5. I don't know, Steve.
Got the light. You and I.
Say what? Say what? Dude, I forgot about that fucking Ice Cube Children of the Corn song, though. That shit is fire, Steve. When you're lifting weights, I like that.
Fuck authority. Hit your ass in the head with my 40. After school, you gonna see more of me. After school, you better run to the car. Class clown, already know I'm a star. The children of the corn was born through your porn and your twisted ass ways. Now you in the days. I fucked it up, kind of.
No, you got it, Steve. All I want to do is
I threw the school part in there one too many times, but yeah, I remember most of it. So, dude, tell me, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you see this logo?
Fatality.
There you go. I think of my favorite character, Liu Kang. That's my immediate.
I mean, we're going to talk about this movie, and I got to say, I'm pumped to talk about this movie. I haven't seen it in a while. I watched it this morning. We'll get to it. But in my mind, I think the guy's name's Robin. I'll look it up. The guy who played Liu Kang in the movie. Mowgli. Other movies he was
Mowgli.
in.
Yeah.
The guy in Beverly Hills Ninja with Chris Farley.
Robin Shou.
That's his name. I mean, whoever cast him, or maybe the video game itself used his likeness as the likeness of Liu Kang in the video game, but I can't, it's almost perfect, Steve. And the hair, Robin Shou's fucking voluptuous, fucking goddamn locks, Steve. The feathered just boas, the bounce.
It's like a Asian Ric Flair of sorts.
Dude, you just nailed it. You get
Ric
him
Flair in his heyday.
90s Ric Flair in the heyday. Actually, that was more of I think the 80s, right? The
80s going into the 90s. Yeah. He had the flow out more in the 80s. Yeah, more feather with feathers.
And then maybe like Pinky, I guess, or Rick James, just to round it out. Just get those guys in the room together. I mean, that's living legends. Yeah, dude.
Ricks and Robins.
You've seen him on TV, now see him in person. The Little Caesars hand puppet, just 99 cents at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
So, hey, boys and girls, this is Steve G and Matt G with Happened in the 90s. The show we talk about what happened in the 90s. So get out your Super Nintendos and your CK Cologne, because sometimes I cannot take this place. Sometimes it's my life I can't face. Sometimes I cannot feel my face. You never see me far from grace. Something takes a part of me. You and I were meant to be. A G-Fuck for me to lay. Something takes a part of me.
Dude, that gibberish. I mean, there's a lot of that. I mean, did he create a full language on his own, Steve?
With the guitars, they had that. What do they say? Drop D. They put it in drop D tuning so it could give it that.
Damn, that little technical know-how from Steve G here. Okay,
that's from me being in bands and covering songs and whatnot.
You gonna drop some D today, Steve?
Drop some D on that bitch. Just bought a Cadillac. Just did my podcast. Drop some D on that bitch. And so people who listen to us, you can reach out to us at hit90s at gmail. That's our email, right? Hit90s at gmail. And we got some mail from Crystal from New Baltimore. And she asked, Steve, did you really have to mention Maya Campbell's butthole? She's never shown anything of the sort on an episode of In the House. And Crystal from New Baltimore, not Old Baltimore, I say, well, maybe they should have. They would have lasted more than 5 seasons. They could have aired every episode starring Maya Campbell's asshole, and I would have watched.
I'd watch to this day. I'd have the box set.
Yeah, and that's it. Like this week on UPN, Maya shows her brown butthole. Maybe it's mocha. I don't know. Mocha chocolate. Wow.
And television was never the same again. Rating shattered. Dude, I'm in, Steve. If we can get Maya, we can get this to go now.
Yeah, we got to get her. Make sure she's good.
What was the name of the person that emailed us?
Crystal from New Baltimore, not Old Baltimore, Ohio.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of locations in there. It's confusing, but Crystal from New Baltimore, thanks for the idea. I mean, the question, I feel like, Steve, I don't remember you saying this. I feel like she's putting words in your mouth, but at the same time, it's a great idea. So let's run with it.
So is. And we actually had a show, Great Lakes Crew, in New Baltimore, Ohio, and it was very odd. This is when I lived in Texas, and I came down, and one of them, I can't remember who set it up. They were like, "Oh, bro, we got a show," and I'm all for it, man. Rip the stage up with my buddies. Hey yo, so so what's the location? New Baltimore, Ohio. What the fuck? I didn't even know there was a New or Old Baltimore in Ohio. We got there, and there were about like 4 or 5 old white guys sitting at the bar, and we come in. It was like one of those record skip moments in butt fucking Egypt, and we're performing, and it was like no one was there because they're just like, it was so awkward, but we're there doing our rap tunes, and they're there drinking their beers out of steins and tin cans and whatever they drink in New Baltimore, Ohio, and
where is like in location? Where is New Baltimore, Ohio? What's it
going towards Michigan? It's like it's Toledo. Like you're starting from Toledo and going more western, not as more northern as Michigan, but going
towards like the Grand Rapids, Michigan area.
Something of the sort.
Okay, this is boring.
Yeah, very boring. They were not amused. They did not care about whatever we were saying, whatever beat was playing, because halfway through our set, they were just like, "Stop." The lady behind the counter, she's just like, "Could you just like stop?" We just like, yeah, we can hurry up and get the fuck out of here. Actually, come on, let's get.
I get a mozzarella sticks though.
Man,
damn, but I mean, you did it, man. Fuck them. They should have let you do your time. Fuck that.
I mean, it's not like we were getting paid. I don't know how he fucking set that up. Who he talked to.
He didn't do it. He actually never said anything up. They're like, you guys just set up music, and it like, okay. We were like, fine. There's nobody in here, but then these fucking biker guys came in. So,
oh, y'all have an amp? All right, cool. We got a laptop. Well, today, my friend, we're talking about all things August 18th and the 90s. Starting off in 1990, B.F. Skinner, the American psychologist and philosopher who invented the Skinner box, dies.
I don't like the sound of what he invented, but maybe it was useful. What is the Skinner box, Steve? That guy that's like a Harry Potter painting.
Very. B.F. Skinner. He mutilated rats with this thing, just about. It's a laboratory apparatus used to study animal behavior. It's a conditioning chamber created by B.F. Skinner while he was a graduate student at Harvard University. The chamber can be used to study both operant conditioning and classical conditioning. So you ever see those clips of like those science classes or whatever, where there's like a box and there might be like a mouse inside the box or something, and there's like some hoses attached to the box. Not even a science class or a lab video or something. B.F. Skinner. There's been like bigger animals used, to study their behavior, their lifestyle, whatever.
Okay.
But
BF Skinner.
yeah.
So BF Skinner, a man of my nightmares, basically, somebody who possibly is in a Harry Potter painting, mutilating rats. Awesome.
Mutilating rats and mice and whatnot. Do you want to know where he's from? B.F. Skinner?
I mean, I hope it's an Ohio area, but I don't know.
Close enough.
Where?
Yeah, he's from Susquehanna Depot, Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
Susquehanna, Pennsylvania.
Susquehanna.
It's on the northern east point of Pennsylvania.
It's near I don't like this, Steve, but you know what? The man did he left his mark, he's out there. I don't know why you need one of these things at this point, but fuck it. Fucking fuck some rats up the BF Skinner way, Steve.
To torture them.
Good.
That following year, 1992, Eric Clapton releases the album Unplugged. And I remember it getting a lot of praise, a lot of accolades and nominations and whatnot. I liked and enjoyed Eric Clapton's music until he got older. And he started. Yeah, it's like, damn, not you.
I thought he was cool though, like we used to trip balls to his music. You know what I'm saying? It was all love.
She don't lie, she don't lie, she don't lie. Cocaine. That guy, not the guy who did Layla. Not the fucking closing scene when the guy in Goodfellas where they're whacking everybody. Not that.
I mean, even that fucking sad song about his son dying, even that song, Steve, it melted my heart. Heaven? Would you know my name? It's fucking there's like women love it. It makes them just feel a certain way, but it's just at some point, like the switch flipped with this guy, and it got to a point where it's just like, just play the music, man. Like, it's just, I don't like Stained, but I've heard a lot of shit that guy has gone crazy where he's just out in like, a fuck Biden t-shirt on stage. Like, I don't give a fuck about whatever you fucks think. You fucking
the bassist, not the wrestler.
Stained? I'm talking about Stained.
Oh, you talking about Aaron Lewis?
Yeah, dude. I've heard a lot of crazy shit about that dude. He's on stage saying some wild shit.
Well, Matt, you do know it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while.
We've heard from the man. So over time, he's became a country star.
Well, he's gonna be fucking at some MAGA rallies real soon. Fucking headline. It's crazy.
You got to follow suit, man. Somebody who probably didn't listen to Eric Clapton Unplugged when it came out. Probably the daughter of Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love, Frances Bean Cobain, because she was born on August 18th, 1992. Good for her. I'm so glad Courtney Bean.
Is she normal at all? Like, I don't know anything about this girl. I hope she is, because, man, she had a tragic family life.
Yeah.
Is Courtney Love alive? She's alive, right?
She's still alive. Look at her looking like Skeletor's auntie.
Whoa.
I think,
man,
yeah.
Dude, why? Why try to hold on to the youth like that? That's some crazy fucking Ivana Trump shit. That's crazy. I mean, the daughter, very beautiful girl, Steve, I gotta say.
Despite it all.
She looks like somebody that would have like a tattoo shop. She looks like somebody maybe a little too dark for my taste, like in mood and everything, but how can you blame her with the parents that she had,
Yeah.
But man, Courtney Love, Jesus. Why go that route? Go the Peg Bundy route. Just the all natural. Just embrace it.
Man, you can't go. It's Courtney Love, bro. That
Don't
maybe
do that.
she's afraid to. Yeah.
Don't you look like the chick
stories.
that fucking Joker fucked up in the first Batman movie with Michael Keaton with like the porcelain face? Hey, Jack. Fucking
remember me?
She took Brand X.
That following year, 1993, Manhattan Murder Mystery premieres in theaters. A middle-aged couple suspects foul play when their neighbor's wife suddenly drops dead. Directed by Woody Allen and starring Woody Allen, Diane Keaton, Angela P. Houston, and Alan Alda.
I love me some Alan Alda, but Woody Allen movies, I don't do it, Steve. I'm not into it. He has like two that are passable, and they're like early ones, and the shit, respect to a guy that can make a movie every year or whatever his claim to fame is, but I don't get it.
Hannah and her sisters.
Yeah, I just wanna lick your pussy. I can't. Just please.
Oh, would you touch my split winkle?
Hated it.
I just don't get it. I honestly, people used to like. He's a weird creep anyway. There's all that shit, and that aside, take all that out of the equation. I'm not into it, Steve. I'm just not.
Totally
I've
not.
tried to. I even tried to be a movie snob, and like you've talked about it, I would just buy random movies. I bought Woody Allen movies, and I forget what the fucking movie's called. It's in black and white, and I can't remember what it is, and it's good. And aside from that,
huge fucking stinker.
And on top of it, he's a creep. So there's that.
Yeah, so totally fuck Woody Allen and his movies. In 1993, which you should have been watching, was Clash of the Champions 24. They were airing that at the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, Florida. And it's known for something.
History, Steve.
Yeah, infamous history, unintentionally. It's probably the most memorable introduction of a wrestler unintentionally.
This may be that part of it. Just take it all. Take the Ric Flair aspect, the whole Today Show with Ric Flair aspect of whatever the fuck the Flair of Gold shit was, and to add the Shockmaster thing on top of it. It's like 5 seconds of perfect, insane television that it'll never be outdone, Steve. It will never be outdone. And also something else that will never be outdone is Jesse the Body Ventura's outfit, dude. Can you dress up, Jesse? Like, what the fuck?
I gotta say, this time around, he got it right though, because that Jimi Hendrix shirt is something Steve G would rock.
But not like fucking while you're on the clock, Steve. Like rock.
That's his thing. He's the rebel. He's the.
Yeah, but he was rocking like a fucking suit before with a fucking black do-rag, and that's a formal like version of his look, Steve.
That's always his thing. Even when he was at WWF, he would be standing next to Vince McMahon, and Vince is dressed with this tuxedo and he's all done up, and Jess would be wearing like a leather jacket with a fucking like tie-dye bandana.
Yeah, and fucking shit tons of frill and fray and shit like that, dude. That's the vintage look that we all know and love. But it's like he came in from a game of pool. He's like, shit. I forgot I had to let me get over there, boys. Fucking didn't have time to change, Steve.
And we get a little introduction. They show some of the characters. It's Flair and Sting. And then we got the Hollywood Blondes. They're going against the Horsemen, Roma and Anderson. And then we're going to have Vader and British Bulldog in a no DQ for the WCW strap. And, like we mentioned, we got Tony Schiavone doing the color, or I don't know, he's one of the analysts. And your boy, Jesse the Body Ventura, First match, Arn Anderson and Paul Roma versus the Hollywood Blondes, Steve Austin and Lord Steven Regal, with Brian Pillman and Sir William as the manager. And he was a replacement, Lord Steven Regal, because Brian Pillman, he had some kind of injury, but Brian Pillman is there ringside, and he's a crazy son of a bitch, as the most Cincinnatians I know. And this is the tag team match for the NWA and WCW World Tag Team Championship. So you get to see some of that early brilliance on display with Steve Austin, man. Some of those moves that he was known for in his Stone Cold era, he's doing some of them here.
Yeah, you could see a lot, like his punches. He had a couple of those. Like he has like that thing where he like jumps up and like straddles you and like gets down and starts pounding you and shit like that. He had a lot of that.
The Luthez. Yeah.
But it was cool to see him do all that because it was him, but like also have that aspect where he's getting on like the fucking top rope and fucking doing like gigantic fucking elbow drops and shit like
elbow, yeah. And Tony Schiavone, he says no, that's a Nolan Ryan hit to the head. That's topical because just that summer, recently, when this happened, Nolan Ryan, he had that scuffle with Robin Ventura.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, this was his final year, I believe. Actually, Nolan Ryan, his retirement season.
And did you mention that Brian Pillman was supposed to be his thing, but he has an injury at this point?
He had an injury, so like coming down the ring, he's got crutches, and Lord Steven Regal is his replacement tag team partner. But Lord Steven Regal would have a match later, and he was replaced by beautiful Bobby Eaton in the following match, which. Yeah, like were y'all short on people? It just seems very thrift shop to me. Like,
yeah, I was like, that was one of my questions. I was like, they don't got a squad deep enough that like after Pillman's out, you go to Lord Steven Regal. It's like
who's already on the card. Like you had to borrow. Let me borrow you from this match, and like substitute you with. Let's bring it. Why can't beautiful Bobby Eaton wasn't doing shit? Why did he
beautiful Bobby? We'll get to beautiful fucking Bobby Eaton, Steve.
Beautiful Bobby Eaton.
But Lord Steven Regal, the motherfucker can wrestle, right? But like all of the he never breaks character. The constant arm behind the back and
he's always that guy.
And did Sir whatever the guy's name is, Sir William, did he steal Mr. Fuji's outfit and just like throw it on? Is that what that is? Because it's ill-fitting and it's eerily similar to Mr. Fuji. So
either that or the original Penguin. Where's that? Burgess Meredith? What are you two, lovers or something?
Yeah,
I think he's one of those funny boys. Get him, rock, you bum.
Now, Lord Steven Regal's extremely British, but Paul Roma is the most Italian dude that I maybe have ever seen, Steve. I mean, the guy is oozing machismo in a very marinara fashion. It's crazy. I mean, that's the guy that you don't want to see that's all juiced up at like the Jersey Shore, basically.
And he's considered by many to be the worst horseman in the history of the Four Horsemen.
He's like simping, and rightfully so, at Arn Anderson. He's like, I'm just happy to be here type energy, but it's clear Arn Anderson is just, the motherfucker. Just every time I watch him, it's just like that dude just looks like a fucking substitute teacher just whooping some fucking ass. That should have been a movie. Remember the movie The Substitute? Let's make a movie The Substitute with fucking Arn Anderson, Steve.
With Tom Berenger?
Yeah. Where he's like an undercover cop, but basically he's just a guy whooping kids' asses.
It's like, yeah. I think they borrowed from Dangerous Minds. It was kind of the same vibe with a little 187. I don't know which came first.
That's a wild ass movie too. But so the Hollywood Blondes with the aid of Brian, they got two fucking extra dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they win, and they, I guess, unify these belts from what you said.
Arn Anderson and Paul Roma, yeah, they become the new world tag team champions.
And you know, I don't know how much longer Steve Austin's luscious blonde hair is gonna last, but he does it justice in this match. And it's just like every time I've seen Brian Pillman ever when we've been watching this shit, I think he's been part of like 5 fucking episodes we've talked about, and he might have wrestled in one. You know what I'm saying? Like he's always fucking gimped up. Something's always fucked up. You know, it's just a shit show, but you know, he does lend a crazy psychotic energy to the interview he does when he's like announcing he's not going to be able to wrestle. So
he's the loose cannon.
He wanted to go, but he's got like a 75-pound fucking cast on. I don't. It looks like somebody just put his leg in fucking cement.
And our next match, we have beautiful Bobby Eaton versus everybody. Here comes Hugo Scorpio. Hey man, Two Cold Scorpio. I just feel he doesn't get enough props. Vince, he just mishandled him, like he does with a lot of talent. Man, he called him Flash Funk and made him like a wrestling pimp, basically.
Dude, it's so. But watching him and the shit he was doing, I mean, this is '93. And some of the fucking shit, I mean, it's fucking high flying. It's exciting. He's got a bunch of crazy karate moves and shit. I don't remember like seeing him that much, but he definitely is not mentioned enough. I feel bad. I don't even remember this fucking ass. But it's also because he had to fucking fight guys like beautiful fucking Bobby Eaton, who looks like a bouncer at a lesbian bar. I mean, the guy is just a shit show. Why, Steve?
He's from a certain time, you know. He's one half of the Midnight Express. Well, the 80s. Closing time.
Bobby Eaton to fuck up a match again.
No shade on beautiful Bobby Eaton. He's like, dude, he was one half of the Midnight Express, which was managed by Jim Cornette, and they were like a legendary like heel team in the 80s. But that, you know, was obviously before this time. You know, he's kind of seen his twilight during this. It's like,
sorry, I fucking besmirched beautiful Bobby Eaton so much. Sorry about that.
Yeah, he just passed away last year around this time.
Oh man, well, fuck me, Steve. Fuck. I feel bad. Sorry. You know what, beautiful Bobby? And I had a lot of shit to talk about your look and just maybe that like you and fucking fuck it. I'm not gonna besmirch him, man.
Let it out. Dude, beautiful Bobby Eaton, he could take a joke, bro, and he will forgive you at the same time. It's all in jest. That's why
I just feel like Bobby he looks like Greg the Hammer Valentine got some fucking fat sucked out of his head, dude.
He would appreciate
he would have
that.
loved that, dude. Dude, straight up, rest in peace, beautiful Bobby. And one thing he does do good, Steve, is take a bunch of punishment from fucking Two Cold Scorpio in this match. I mean, again, this dude's pulling off a bunch of crazy fucking moves. He's high flying. He's doing fucking like Hurricane Ranas and shit and karate kicks. He does a fucking insane finishing move that in and of itself is crazy. It's like a front flip, right?
It was a 360 off the top rope.
And that is crazy. A lot of times he hits it and he nails it. But what he also nails in this case is his knee to beautiful Bobby Eaton's fucking grill. Like, if you watch this, I watched it many times. I was like, dude, he ate a fucking knee, dude.
I did catch that. I wonder if they came to blows. But like, he's so forgetting that beautiful. He's forgiving and forgetting that beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Oh, I bet he forgot the fuck out of that because he's fucking got knocked the fuck out, Steve. He didn't remember. He's like, we wrestled? Awesome. Let's go get a beer, dude. I'm gonna go take a nap real quick. Fuck.
Lights out in the attic and no one's home. Max Payne is the next match, and he's going up against Johnny B. Bad. Johnny B. Wild. who just recently broke free out of Rip Taylor's closet in a mask versus
Yeah,
guitar
dude.
match.
I mean, what I think the storyline is he was burnt by Max Payne. I
He
think
was
that's what
burnt
it
by him.
was.
Well, he gave him fucking gonorrhea. What?
You have AIDS.
Yes, you have a.
His face, dude. That's why he's wearing a mask, bro. He had
Oh,
mass.
okay.
He got injured in some way by Max Payne, and
By those
also,
fiery shreds.
he has like he's wearing like a Liberace outfit. He looks coming out. He looks absolutely insane. Dude. I couldn't even tell where his fucking face was. Honestly, it was wild.
Like,
And they don't really explain this match too well, but basically the gist is whoever wins gets this fucking guitar that you see behind Steve. That's part of the winning of the match.
yeah, I guess it was like autographed by Dimebag Darrell and like Jimmy Page and like all of the greats or some shit. I don't know, but like Meatloaf Payne. He was actually
I have my first note is that guy looks like Meatloaf's gay son. So we were right on the fucking same wavelength, dude.
man,
I don't get it. This guy was employed as a wrestler, Steve. Seriously, come on, guys. Steven Regal almost had to double up matches, and you got this guy parading around. What the fuck was going on here?
staffing issues.
Yeah, dude. Jesus. Yeah, they had to get everybody juiced up for Shockmaster later. They're like, you guys got to rest because wait till you see this crazy shit.
Wasn't that a made up like Superbook hero from The Simpsons? There wasn't Homer Max Payne or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know, dude, but this shit is just stupid. And then to add to the stupidity, so first off, he has on like a more fancy mask, and then Max Payne grabs that with his fat sausage fingers and he rips that off, and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna see his gnarled face. But he has another mask on, Steve. He came prepared. He came doubled up, Steve. He double bags it. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Sable
Wild Man
got
be
him a
dead,
couple
bro.
bugs, and he learned his lesson.
Because he would do anything for love, but he can't win this match.
I mean, he just looks like the Gimp from Pulp Fiction. It's crazy. And this doesn't, thankfully, it doesn't last that long. Mark Marrow, it just wins. And then
he just goes, Max Payne goes for a big splash. Those fat guys, they just go for a big splash. Oh, he misses them. He's so fat that there's no way he'll get up off of his fat ass and in 3 seconds.
Well, I was gonna save this for the Vader thing, but that's my pet peeve of fat wrestlers is that's part of the wrestling style that they're hard to knock down. It's hard to knock this fat fuck down. I hate that. It's so dumb to see a guy jump kick and the guy's like, you fuck, fall down, you, so whatever. I don't remember Max Payne, and there's a reason for that. Mark Marrow went on to fuck a beautiful woman, do a couple of thingy things, and he wins this match. And what I do remember about this match is that they interview him afterwards. He gets the guitar, and to be honest with you, with the Gimp mask, with his yoke exterior and the bloody tooth mouth, he looked crazy in his interview. And I don't remember what he said, but he just looked wild because he has the Gimp mask on and just there's blood coming maybe from his mouth or his nose. I don't remember.
Well, that's why he's the wild man, Mark Marrow.
Well, at this point, he's Johnny B. Bad, though, Steve. He's not the wild man. He's bad.
Woo! And he's got the guitar, Norma Ray. That's what Max Payne named his guitar. Now, man, this is the centerpiece of this pay-per-view, or not even a pay-per-view. I think it aired on TBS. But Flair for the Gold. And this was one of Ric Flair's vignettes, him being Arsenio or Johnny or Jay, David, one of them. Woo! The match coming up. Hey, buddy. And he's got his guest on there, Sting and Davey Boy Smith. They're special mystery guests who they're going to announce here later. Sid Vicious, he just stormed the set with Kano Masapaka and Kane and Cole. They're not Harlem Heat just yet. They're Kane and Cole. And they come out looking like a ratchet ass Peter Pan. That right there already has me busting a gut. Those tight ass, and the picture doesn't do it justice. Maybe this one is better. They got these fucking thirsty ass flaming hot Cheeto tops and the fucking matching do-rags with these tight ass tights. And
look like Guy Fieri's bodyguards, dude. Fucking crazy.
Guy Fieri. Yeah, so I'm already fucking, I'm laughing a riot, man. And they're going to announce the special mystery guest, and he's going to shock the world. He's none other than the Shockmaster. And hilarity ensues. This guy, Fred Ottman, he is the Shockmaster. And the plan was for Fred Ottman, Shockmaster, Tugboat Typhoon, to bust through the wall, this plaster with a double axe handle, which he did. He used all his force. He's a big guy. He used all his force with this double axe handle through the wall. But the fine print, well, I guess they didn't tell him that there was going to be some lumber across the foot where the feet is. So he busts through the wall and trips over the lumber. And oh my God, what an embarrassing moment that will live on forever. He quickly picks up his glittery ass bedazzled stormtrooper helmet.
Quickly. How is that even legally allowed, dude? That's fucking copyright shit. So we get binged on that all the time. They can just glitter up a fucking stormtrooper helmet and it's cool.
George Lucas, are you watching this?
Yeah, fucking nail these motherfuckers.
Yeah, man, like to his credit though, like he couldn't see through the helmet and they didn't tell him. I think it was David Crockett or Jim Crockett. David Crockett. I think it was Jim Crockett who put that there without telling anyone. So, there was that. And also to his credit, he was able to retrieve it pretty quickly in a decent, because this is live television. And, he was able to retrieve the mask, and he's like doing some pantomimes, because the plan was for Ole Anderson to do the voiceover. And I don't know if it's heard in the playbacks now, but Ole Anderson actually busts out laughing when this happens. And he's doing the gravelly, whatever, Sid Justice, I'm going to beat your ass. And
I'm coming for you. I'm coming. I'm the Shockman.
It sounds like when they want to like a gang, they do like a gangster show and they're interviewing like a guy from the streets. It's like that kind of shit.
Oh, and they blur his face and shit.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't want his identity revealed. So, but this shit is why it sounds like shit. I mean, even if he walked through the wall correctly, Steve, it's a guy in a bath towel with a glittery stormtrooper helmet on. This is some shit out of a drag queen show. This isn't a fucking this isn't a guy. My question to you is this. First of all, again, if you take all of this, the Ric Flair aspect, Sting and British Bulldog looking like they're going to go represent us in the Olympics, Sid Vicious coming in looking so fucking coked out of his gourd and having to maintain his intensity while that happens, and then just the whole shit show afterward is, again, one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. But how would Shockmaster, even if this went the way they wanted to, what are the mechanics of this guy wrestling? Because if he comes through a wall like that, he ain't suplexing a guy without this fucking helmet coming off his dome.
Well, in this actual match that they had, he was the guy that got the winning pin for the team, he got the win for the team, basically. He got Cole or Kane into a bear hug, and they submitted. And so he got the score for the team. But because this happened, this snafu, they basically played out the rest of his tenure as this character like a buffoon. He was supposed to be this intimidating figure that was going up against the bigs, the Sid Justice, or the Sid Vicious and the Vaders and all that. And just like, no. So this was short-lived, and he would end up leaving the company by the end of this year, '93, and he would return to WWF as Typhoon shortly. He would do a couple like dark matches with WWF, replacing Earthquake, who was his former teammate with the Natural Disasters, man. But yeah, and also to Sid Vicious, his credit, dude, he like kind of kept face. He saved face and he just kept going with it. And as you see in the playbacks, man, they kept the camera on him. It's like, dude, what else do we do? We can't keep the camera on this fucking buffoon. Just tripped over and like he's trying to like.
They found the one guy that wasn't chuckling and just fucking zoom in on fucking Sid. He's zoned in. He's on. Somebody gave him acid. He's just in a rage right now. He can't see.
Jerry curl dripping and all. And something that they cut out from the playbacks, man, Cole, who I'm guessing is Booker T, he says, "Who is this motherfucker?" So clearly I didn't hear that. And Davey Boy Smith, he exclaimed, he fell flat on his arse.
Even Jesse the Body after this, like there's another like crazy entrance just, in general. And he's like, all these fucking wild entrances, am I right? And starts laughing right after this, dude. It's just like a joke. Like, how fucked up would that be to be like, this is it, dude. Finally, my fucking fat ass got to the big time. Here we go. Just like in America's Funniest Home Video shit, dude. It is stupid.
And the person that put the lumber there was actually, his name was David Crockett.
This was a hit job on Typhoon. He just some guy that just hated his fucking guts was like, fuck this fat ass.
David Crockett.
I just like, what was his deal? Like, what do they have like a bio of what Shockmaster's like backstory is, or is it just like a buffoon in a towel escaped from the fucking
was here to shock the world?
He's from that hospital Ace Ventura went to look into Ray Finkel, dude. I'm ready to go in, coach. Put me in. Fucking this guy, dude. I just can't imagine getting to the height of your career and then this happens to you. This has got to be like what who else like flamed like this in wrestling? There's nothing else.
Nothing.
There is nothing else, dude.
Dude, this is why I didn't want to cover SummerSlam '96, which also happened on August 18th, man. Like, it was a decent pay-per-view, but like, dude, no, we got to talk about Shockmaster. And we left out Ric Flair's part. Oh my God. Oh no. You can hear him in the back. Like they didn't dub that out for the playbacks. Oh no. My God.
Every like fucking Tony Schiavone had to be like they just like somebody was like say something like fill the fucking dead air.
No one said anything. It was silence until they cut to the next match. And Fred Ottman, he can take this joke now. I think we're years removed. This happened in '93. He's still with us.
He's got like some fan-made Shockmaster figurine in his house. He's like, man, what the fuck? That was crazy.
Oh, dude, he's totally bought into it, man, because he shows up at occasional Comic Cons and stuff like that, and he'll sign Shockmaster shit, man, because it's infamous, bro. Like any wrestling fan,
dude. Typhoon's alive, dude. That's crazy. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Good old tugboat.
Yeah, dude. I love it, dude. You're a fat wrestler. You're either a natural disaster fucking thing or, something fat's out, like dump truck or some shit, dude.
Or a steamboat. And the next match is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Paul Orndorff for the World Television Championship. And this time around, we get an introduction by Michael Buffer, the golden voice of all of sports television.
Was this where he got his like flame from? Was this?
Like, I believe he started in the boxing world.
Was that what
before
it was?
This? I think, yeah, he was already known doing the boxing shit in Vegas. And it's like, all right, by '93, he was kind of a name and known for doing that thing, man.
And trademarked the saying, dude. That's fucking baller, dude. Baller alert.
And dude, his brother, Bruce. I like it. He's got his own thing, and it works. It's completely different, but they both get you amped, man.
Oh, dude, and his is like more physical. Yeah, dude, he'll do like a little pirouette and some shit, dude.
Like on some DDP shit. You know when he would do the fucking
hell yeah, hell
like,
yeah, dude. Get DDP out there too. Let's give him some work out there doing that shit. He needs to hype some motherfuckers up.
Like a fish out of water. It's time.
Now, first of all, I do have a question though, Steve, because Ricky Steamboat, you know, I've never been like, I respect the man. He's a legend. He's a fucking badass, whatever. But my question is the flame spitting. Did this ever go wrong for this guy? Like, I feel like that's a high risk maneuver, and he was doing it many times. So did he ever just like fucking fuck his lips up, flame a ref, you know, like fuck up somebody? Did this ever go wrong?
Not to my knowledge. And this was short lived. He didn't do this the whole time in his career. This was like maybe a 90s thing because Vince brought this idea to him initially when he was with them in like the early 90s. And then he joined WCW like around 91, 92, and he started doing it, man. But by all accounts, a good guy. You know, you never hear bad things about him. And he's one of the few wrestlers who never changed his alignment. He was always a good guy. He was always the baby face. Because I don't know who it was, maybe Jim Ross or somebody behind the scenes told him, like, dude, you could never be heel. You just, like, nobody would buy it. Because you're actually a nice person.
Huh. Well, yeah, you're right. He never was like a bad guy. He was just either Ricky Steamboat or Ricky the fucking Dragon Steamboat. But I just was like, that's kind of a crazy, you know, come out, do a flip, do whatever you're gonna, but fucking breathe fucking fire. I feel like, man, you're like, you know what, guys, I'm good on this. Let me just like throw like a fucking sidekick or something in there, you know, do something like that. And also Paul Orndorff he just looks like somebody who's like fucks somebody's mom. You know, it's like the guy who comes in after a divorce and just fucks the shit out of your mom, you know?
Oh, I'm sure he was swimming through tail in the 80s and 90s, man. He's got the look. He's got the chiseled face and fucking, hey, there are moms that are getting wet thinking about that.
His fucking nickname's Mr. Wonderful. That's on merchandise. He's like, I'm Mr. Wonderful, baby. Paul the fucking body Orndorff. Get over here, toots.
Do you ever wonder? And, you know, Ricky the Dragon, he gets the pin and the television championship. And now we get an interview with Eric Bischoff, a young Eric, and he's interviewing the Colossal Kongs with Harley Race. And Colossal Kongs, they have a match coming up against Sting and Ric Flair. And the Colossal Kongs are Awesome Kong and King Kong. I mean, the lack of creativity.
They look like B-rate versions of that guy, the revolting blob on Billy Madison. Like,
I can see that,
shit, dude. Like, and honestly, again, what the fuck, Steve? These guys are just here to be fat. They got Harley Race, who maybe smoked a carton of cigarettes before this. Like, we
got Awesome Dong.
Is his nickname Handsome, Steve? Because I don't see that. I don't like the fucking pubic hair, the blonde pube hair. I don't like that.
You don't like the Bobby Brady perm?
No, I don't.
Menendez brothers head.
He fucking looks like he's gonna fucking teach your way into. He's a panty sniffer, Steve. That's what I'm saying. Harley Race, he's a pervert.
How much for your draws, Missy? Come on, toots. I got a crispy $10.
I'm drunk. Come on, come over here.
I was the first person to body slam Andre the Giant before that pencil neck Hulk Hogan. Show me your pussy hairs, bitch. The freedom of our podcast.
Hey, yeah, how old are you, honey? You know what? Never mind.
Let me get a sniff, toots. And the Colossal Dongs, they get their ass beat because Stinger Splash, Kiss My Ass, the Stinger, and Ric Flair's get the pin, baby.
I mean, Ric Flair didn't even need to be there. He even says it. He was there to look good.
Yeah.
Because Sting just went in here, whooped some like he literally just whooped some fat people's asses and just won real quick.
Time.
And at this
You guys are
point,
big
like
and
I
disgusting.
wrote, I
Let's
was
put a
like,
mask
even
on.
with Ric Flair and Sting and some kind of rapist preacher guy in the form of Harley Race, like I'm not, it's not, nothing's moving the needle. I'm just thinking about fucking Shockmaster breaking through that wall over and
It
over.
stole the show, and it wasn't even the main event. And it wasn't even a match.
Like the people in the crowd, what did they? Was that like a video thing? Like they shot to that on like a video screen, or what happened? Like what were like?
Well, if it wasn't live, poor job editing.
Oh man, dude, it's just hilarious. And the Colossal Kongs, I don't know who these guys were. Like if they were ever like another fat character ever, but I mean, I wasn't impressed, Steve. Their superpower, morbid obesity, and that's really it.
Yeah, and their fucking kryptonite was carbs. I don't know, or
Fucking foot long Subway subs.
gluten. But you know, they do a little interview with Tony Schiavone, Sting, and Ric Flair after the match, and I don't like this version of Ric Flair where he's being all like
presidential,
diplomatic and shit.
Yeah.
You're a heel. I like my Ric Flair scummy. You know, that's like I know you're the Stinger, but woo, I'm the Nature Boy. Because I guess they have a match coming up that following Saturday. And you know, may the best man win. I don't like that energy. I don't like it. You know,
Not
you
from
need
Ric
to, like,
Flair, dude. You don't want that. I want him fucking slapping this dude in the face. Being like, I don't give a fuck. You wasted I could have been backstage fucking tail. Why didn't you beat those fat fucks 5 seconds earlier? I could already be back there right now popping bottles.
low blows and bragging about your fucking ride, dude. That's
But I mean, right,
the Rick
also, I guess from my standpoint, if you go and you get hired to do a job and then some guy steps in and goes, hey, hold on 1 second, and does the job in like 5 seconds and you don't have to do anything, it's like, you know what, dude? Thanks, man. Now I have more energy to whoop your ass next week. Thanks. You know? Flair's playing 4D chess, Steve. And, you know, possible friendship because not only did they share a tag team match here, but they both have a woo. They both woo.
They do. They do woo.
Was that ever a contentious thing when they were in the locker room? Like, yo, dude, hey, come on. That's my thing, you know?
Yeah. You stepping on my toes. You can't out woo me, bro.
Who wooed first?
Oh, I mean, it's got to be Rick. Yeah, for sure. For sure. But the following match is the Equalizer and his partner, Ravishing Rick. Cut the music. What I'd like to do right now is for all of you fat, out of shape, Daytona dirtbags to keep your mouth shut while I take my robe off and show you what a real man is supposed to look like. Hit the music. Versus the natural.
I mean, dude, and he got that fucking airbrush, those like weird flesh-colored airbrush tights, Steve. The women of Daytona Beach are just soaking wet tonight, Steve. Even having to look past Equalizer, who is like the bastard son of that guy, the Berserker, the like Viking character from WWF. He just is like another one of these like sloppy guys. Like, how dare you be in this match, sir?
Not a fan of the Equalizer?
He's a fucking chud, Steve. And also, it's just like, I don't like this fucking energy where they're constantly, this whole fucking episode of this show, they're like, Rick Rude and the Equalizer are going to be fighting Dustin Rhodes and some guy. We don't know who it is, but we do know he's coming in a Camaro V8 fucking Hemi.
A Z28? Yeah, and he at this point, he's the natural Dustin Rhodes. I swear, his saving grace was Gold Dust. If it wasn't for that character, he would be close to forgettable, I believe. But yeah, Dustin Rhodes' mystery partner is pulling up in a Z28, and it's none other than Road Warrior Animal. But really, it's not his mystery partner. He's just pulling up in a Z28 to talk some shit to Rick in the Equalizer, who looks like he has an uneven equilibrium. Hacksaw Jim Hogan looking motherfucker. The real mystery guest, it's Road Warrior Hawk, who's pulling up.
Luckily, he doesn't kill anybody driving in. Yeah, Hawks are. Wait, so Animal's in the car. Hawk comes out of nowhere. He's all blasted out. And, he's an intimidating guy, but, Rick Rude, he's not going to be intimidated, Steve. He's got a fucking hang dong for Daytona's finest. You know what I'm saying?
He's a real man.
Cut the music. I mean,
that's
I forgot
some
about
gangster
that.
shit.
I forgot about that shit, Steve.
That's a big part of his
That's
mystique, bro. That's
but what I will say is, like, there's something about that, like, Yamir Yager, like, curly, mullety shit he had that, like, I feel like that was his, like, finest hour. When he looked like a stripper in, like, the 80s, that look, like the party boy look. You know
he
what
was
I'm talking
feuded with
about.
Warrior and shit.
Yeah. I feel like the Yamir Yager haircut, that's when he was in his glories. But here, they put him with a chud. They put him with a fucking chud, and that just is what it is.
Derp. That's his fucking catchphrase.
He looks like shit. I mean, here's the Equalizer. Fucking dude with long hair in a Speedo with, like, grandma compression socks on the bottom of his shit. Like, they look like garbage bags tied around his feet. Like, what are you? What are you equalizing? Okay.
With the Hogan Eagles nest. Like, nobody should be. It's just like what you said about the Woo. The Eagles nest is trademarked. Ain't nobody. If you wrestling, you can't be eagle nesting. The only eagle nester is the Hulkster. Who the fuck? Because you're just gonna look like a ripoff.
Yeah, you look like a roadie that, like, got something dropped on him, and they're like, "Yeah, we have to keep him around," like, he ain't right. No.
And I don't like how he knocked Hawk out of the ring. And actually, I don't like it because I found it hilarious. And I don't like having to laugh at one half of the greatest tag team of all time. And that's why you fucking lost to Road Warrior Hawk and Natural Dustin Rhodes. They get the win.
Yeah, Hawk is a straight up beast, though, dude. Like, LOD, when they're involved in it, you're shooting. Like, if I'm Dustin Rhodes right now, I'm ecstatic because I'm like, thank God something's gonna get me fucking some push. Because it goddamn ain't this weird blonde fucking semen hair that I have. That fucking, and was it just that he was, like, Southern? Like, I mean, I know it was his dad, but he just, like, had just a lame vibe. It was like a very Rocky
Scooby-Doo, Scrappy-Doo kind of deal. Like, you've already endeared yourself to Scooby-Doo over decades, and then here comes his nephew, Scrappy-Doo. It's like, and
you
he's
ain't
just
got
like
half the fucking charisma. You ain't got no fucking charisma. You're coming out and just like, hey guys, hey, my dad was fucking. He might come. He might show up.
Yeah. And
I ain't coming today, baby. Me and Sapphire going out, having a couple mimosas, baby. Fuck your career.
She's showing me her titties. I like seeing Sapphire titties, baby. But, like, that's why Goldust was his saving grace, because he did, like, an abrupt halt, like in a, what do you call it? A turnaround. I almost said reach around. An abrupt turnaround, or however.
Reach around for sure when he became. That was part of becoming the character. But yeah, I mean, the guy's a good wrestler. I mean, for God's sake, he's the son of a fucking legend. So hopefully, if you're gonna wrestle, you're good at it. But you're right. Like, Goldust, I mean, that's really it. There's nothing else. And I mean, Goldust, even that, I mean, it's just like, it's almost just like the weirdness of it. The balls to go out there and do that shit makes it legendary, but, like, it's still kind of a whack fucking weird character.
Yeah, I think it's just because he played it up.
But that chick he was with, I mean, the fact that you became that character and you had that ring lady, what's her name? Sorry. Sorry to derail.
Marla. No, was it?
Whatever it was. Anywho, so Dustin Rhodes, he gets himself in with fucking LOD. They win. Blah blah blah. And then we get fucking. See, I wanted to shit all over this match, Steve. It's the last match, and it has two of my most hated things: British Bulldog and fucking a fat wrestler. I do love Vader, but again, it's the same fat shit. Like, he has cool moves. I love how Vader punches people and like mollywops them in the corner and shit. But the fact you just can't knock him down, and I don't like that. That's a thing. It's annoying.
It makes him one-dimensional, but Vader's not really because he can fly. He can get in the air and do little shit for a big guy. But I know what you mean. The whole 17 drop kicks just to get him on one leg. It's like, really.
But this is a more even intense Vader because he comes out in his weird like sex mask, and that's his look. He's got that weird thing going, and I never got it, but it's his signature Mastodon look. But Davey Boy just goes to town, and he in like some blind rage rips that off, and I thought that was kind of primal. It was like, oh shit, Vader, he ain't fucking around. Big Daddy's pissed, and also he's locked up with Harley Race too. I don't know what Harley Race has on these people where he's getting in with these studs, but he's out there. Get him, Vader, you fucking pussy. He's that guy.
I got a good eye for talent.
Come over here, honey. You remind me of my.
What does that thing smell like?
You ever listen to him? Jesus.
Those old school people, they're very direct. They don't beat around the bush, no pun intended. Yeah, what does it smell like right now at this hour?
What's the pH level of your cunt?
But I will say, I was gonna shit on this match, but there's Davey Boy straight up, I mean, multiple times suplexes Vader and holds him in the air. I mean, Vader's what? 1,000 fucking pounds, dude.
He suplexed him on the apron, on the walkway, man.
He lifts him up mad times, and the guy, it's just a look thing. It's a charisma thing. And also, one thing we didn't say, when he was in the Flair, the Flair for Gold Shockmaster thing, he was part of that. And before Sid Vicious comes in, he has this weird rant about he's eating. It's something bizarre, dude. It's just there's something that
crack.
Exactly. It might be it. I don't know. British people just react differently to American drugs, I think.
Man, pulling them all-nighters with eyeballs like Garfield.
But he does a couple things. Vader fucking does a couple of things. I like Vader's when he'll just fat smash people. I like that little double arm titty smash. So that was cool. And eventually there's just a lot of at the end of here, there's some cool wrestling, but at the end it's just oh, Davey Boy has him pinned, but the ref's knocked out. Oh, Vader has him pinned, but the ref's knocked out. Then Harley Race does something, and Vader eventually the motherfucker splashes on Davey Boy 30 times.
Yeah.
I mean, you okay?
Yeah, because Harley Race, he clipped Davey Boy from behind the knee. And, Vader, he gets the pin. He keeps his belt. And, he starts beating the fuck out of British Bulldog some more until, bang, bang, Cactus Jack shows up, man.
I wasn't expecting that.
No one was.
I mean,
that's why he got a huge pop.
Man, but I don't like the thing Cactus Jack does with his tongue. I don't like that. It's sideways in his mouth. There's a weird thing happening there, and I didn't care for that. But fucking give it, Cactus Jack comes. Yeah, yeah. It probably fell out after he got like fucking body dropped off of a 30-foot fucking Titantron or some shit, in ECW or whatever he was in. But that shit was fire, Steve. And I'm glad the guy went on to be something else other than this, but Jesus Christ. I mean, how much shit did he eat that night?
Dude, like, because he has other accolades, but unfortunately, man, like, this is the one that's going to stand out if you look at his career.
Hey, fuck it. You said he has a sense of humor. Fucking congratulate. That's awesome. Because this is,
You're known for something.
I will never forget this. So this might be a character I do as like a Halloween costume or something. This is gonna live in infamy. It's gonna outlive him.
It's very thrifty, as you can see. I mean,
Saturday,
He's back.
our totally hideous baby returns. His next stop, the maternity ward. It's an all-new, totally hidden video kid special, Saturday.
in 1995, on August 18th, the Babysitters Club premiered in theaters. 7 junior high school girls organized a daycare camp for children, while at the same time experiencing classic adolescent growing pains. Directed by Melanie Mayron, starring Sheila Fisk, Rachel Lee Cook, Larissa Olnick, and Zelda Harris. And I gotta say, man, it's not as great as my film, Steve's Face Sitting Club.
I haven't seen that, but I heard good things. It's a French film.
It's an art piece.
Cunnilingus.
And I do believe recently on Crushgasm, Larissa Olnick was the topic of discussion.
I mean, this was a huge thing. I mean, my wife loves Babysitters Club, like the books that came out and shit. I mean, if you grew up in our time, like, and you were in a library of any kind, you always saw the pink fucking backed books. You and I were looking at fucking Nintendo Power magazines and shit, and whatever, Sports Illustrateds. But it was a big thing. I never saw this. I'd rather see Face Sitters Club, but you know what? Salute. Babysitters Club. It's still a thing. It's still a thing.
Thank you, bounce for Larissa Olnick. But on that same day, we were watching something else. Because on August 18, 1995, Mortal Kombat also premiered in theaters. 3 unknowing martial artists are summoned to a mysterious island to compete in a tournament whose outcome will decide the fate of the world. Directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, starring Christopher Lambert, Robin Shue, Lyndon Ashby, Kerry Hiroyuki Tagawa, and Bridget Wilson Sampras.
I don't know what the consensus is about this movie, but one, when it came out, I was fucking... This is right up there with excitement for movies, Steve, as a child. You wanted to see
No doubt.
And I mean, everything is great. The songs, the crazy techno Mortal Kombat song, that's outlasted the movies. That's like a jock jams thing at this point,
Totally.
So
you're talking about workout music, man.
And I mean, the casting, fantastic. My favorite Mortal Kombat character is Johnny Cage, and rightfully so. He's the best character, and he's represented great in this. Liu Kang's great. Sonya Blade's great. Everybody, I would say, except for Christopher Lambert, who's like almost like a too suave Raiden. I don't know how you feel about that, but I watched this morning, and just like when I was a kid, I feel like this movie's fucking good for what it is. It's an action martial arts movie, and it represents the fucking source material in a great way.
It's got that hot ass Veronica Vaughn.
She's one hot piece of ace. And you know who, and related to Sonya Blade in this movie, the guy they nailed the best, I feel like, because, Johnny Cage, handsome white guy. There's plenty of there's plenty of James Marsden or, whoever this guy is. I forget his name. There's plenty of those guys. But Kano, to compare him to his character like in the game, he looks like he's a cool Australian guy. He's a little scumbag. I enjoyed his part in this movie a lot.
But I think Goro, man, the way they represented him Well done. It seems as if the Henson Company has something to do with it, but I don't think that's the case.
I mean, it's a practical thing. It is like somebody with like robotic arms or some shit, and it looks. That's why,
Yeah.
like, I feel like '90s movies with like any sort of shit like this, where it's a fantastical character, like even like Predator or Aliens or some shit. It was a real thing, you know. Like, regardless of what it looked like when the lights were all on, when they lit it, it looked fucking good. And this, you know, there's some shit that looks kind of wacky. His mouth moves kind of weird and shit. You know, it's got like that weird like Ninja Turtles movie where it's just sort of, you know, moving and words are coming out. But even the set dressing, like everything about this movie is just sort of, they did a good job. They obviously like, it's not a hard thing to replicate. I mean, Enter the Dragon came out, and obviously Mortal Kombat was based off that. So it's just like, you know, do this. They got great people to play everybody in the movie. I mean, you even get like Reptile. They have all the secondary characters and shit.
Sub-Zero.
But I feel like there's like this vibe when you talk about this movie that's like this movie sucks, and it's on the level of the Street Fighter movie, which, you know, I think both of those movies sort of get a really bad rap, and they're not the best movies, but when I compare those two, because I think they always are compared, I mean, Mortal Kombat blows fucking Street Fighter out of the water.
The first one. And I think the Annihilation that came out around 97, that got even worse press.
That movie
But
sucked ass.
yeah,
That movie's terrible.
and I saw that. Yeah. I saw both of these in the theater too, man. But I think IMDb gave it like a 5 or 5.2. I'm just like, dude, really? Your mom gets a 4.2.
I mean, but it was just a time and place. You know, we came up, Mortal Kombat was this thing. It was this crazy, we went from Mario Brothers on Nintendo and all that shit.
It sucked.
You know, it was what it was. But then you go to Mortal
Oh, you're talking about the actual game, not the movie.
No, I'm talking about the game. But like, we saw the video game come, and it was like a thing. You know, it looked awesome. It looked better than anything that came out. It was violent as fuck. And it was just this thing that all people our age gravitated to. And then they made this movie, and it was just like, to me, even watching it now, I was like, I'm just enjoying this shit. Like, it's a good, like, just stupid, turn your brain off action movie. They lay it all out. It's very easy to digest. The only thing that looks bad is the thing behind you that is just
Reptile.
like, yeah, it's like, you know, but it eventually becomes like a human, but that looks like shit, you know. But I liked it. I really enjoyed the movie, and I think it gets a bad rap. It's not going to win a fucking Oscar, but if you compare it to fucking video game movies, I mean, name a better one.
Seriously, because I tried, and I was hard pressed, man. I really enjoyed the Johnny Cage Scorpion fight, and I think that still holds up. It was a good look, even by today's standards. Until Scorpion has this blood oozing out of him that looked like Orange Squeeze It. And I'm like, oh,
hell yeah.
Back to the 90s we go. Doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best fight in the movie. And it's got, again, like, I know it's a video game movie, but like at the beginning of that scene, it's like Johnny Cage walking through like this endless forest of trees, like, and it's very like samurai movie looking and shit. And whoever shot them, it's like well shot, you know, and that lends to the quality of the movie. But yeah, that was dope. I think like I just enjoyed like the Johnny Cage Goro fight just because he gets to do his ball shot thing. But the Scorpion fight, the reason that's the best is that at the end he even gets to do his like little fatality with his autograph. Like they do a lot of that too. You know, they give you those Easter eggs.
Flawless victory.
Yeah.
And the Sub-Zero Liu Kang fight was simply won by Liu Kang applying water. Like, hey, Mr. Zero, never go to Puddin' Bay or Castaway Bay.
I mean,
the ill advised.
That like, why would ice kill the guy made of ice. You know what I mean? Like, can't he just eat that? Because at the end, he eats a giant icicle and then freezes. Isn't that his thing?
It backfires because I guess it's a different form of matter.
Moisture.
Oh my god!
Don't get near Sonya Blade. Fucking when she's around me, fucking Johnny Cage, dude. You're gonna fucking you'll freeze up, bud.
It's gonna be a gush party. And Goro, you know, he before he got his ass beat by Liu Kang, man, he was serving motherfuckers up, you know, giving them uppercuts with all four of his arms and shit.
That was hilarious. I love his like finishing move is literally just like fucking jacking a dude with two fists, dude. The guy like also another standout of this movie. The guy who plays Shang Tsung, I wish I should know his name. Legend.
It's the guy with three names. That's was it Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa?
Yeah,
and he looks the part,
dude. I mean, they actually have new Mortal Kombat games, like the more recent ones, and they used his likeness, and he did the voice for Shang Tsung in the game, which was dope. But I mean, the motherfucker is a great villain. Great.
He was the first and only choice.
I mean, yeah, that's why even bother looking elsewhere. You know, David Lopan was out somewhere else shooting something, but that was the only other option they had on the table. But everything, to me, again, watching this, it's an hour and 30, 40 minutes. It's quick. It's fucking funny. They got all of them. It's got that fucking techno Mortal Kombat music. I fucking love this shit, Steve. Mortal Kombat!
Played at all of the Perrysburg Junior High rallies. I remember that shit.
Don't give me fucking flashbacks. But that was like, that's a jock jams. Like that got elevated. It was more, so whoever did that, whoever like Fatboy Slim or whoever fucking DJ made that fucking cut, that guy hopefully got paid because that went on to live a very long life, more than the fucking movie.
It was actually the first platinum EDM record ever in history. The soundtrack for this.
But I will say they made a new Mortal Kombat, and there's this. I'm not even counting Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That's like a porn parody movie, but this Mortal Kombat is way better than the new Mortal Kombat. Just, I don't give a fuck. Like, fuck the graphics, fuck anything about it. It's all like, you can't tell me the guy who plays fucking Liu Kang in this, like, he might be the guy they used to do the likeness for the video game. I don't know.
He looks the part. Whereas
Crazy.
in the new one, like we could both beat his ass 1-on-1.
Yeah, I didn't hate it, but this one it blows it out of the water to me. So salute to fucking Luke, this guy who played Liu Kang, Mowgli, and to whoever his fucking hairstylist is, like whatever the treatments are, whatever the Farrah Fawcett blowout that you get done, that to me is the star of the show, you know.
And did you know Steven Spielberg was initially going to make a cameo in this movie? Like the guy that plays the director talking to Johnny Cage?
He looks, I mean, the guy they picked, obviously, they were just like, make him look like Steven. Maybe that's what they did.
Intentionally. Yeah, and that was intentional, man. So, yeah, because of obligations, Steven Spielberg couldn't make it. And Christina Applegate was considered for the role of Sonya Blade. And they initially gave it to Cameron Diaz. And because she broke her wrist during training, and because Bridget Wilson, she auditioned for it, but she was doing Billy Madison, and Billy Madison wrapped up so quick, right on time for her to eventually take that role of Sonya Blade.
She killed it. She was great. She's so hot, dude. She was one of those 90s hotties.
And I'm not even big on blondes, but it's something about her. Maybe it's that pouty mouth.
Yeah, I don't know. Just like when I picture her, it's her stripping in Billy Madison, like, and you like the cleave and that. She just is sexy, dude. Back in the day, maybe she is now. She is a white woman who's, you know, it's been 20 or so years, so maybe there's been a few chinks in the armor. But back in the day, dude, she was one hot piece of ace.
Ice. And in the end, you know, Shao Kahn just materializes out of thin air. Like, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished? Like, you know, I can see y'all. Y'all can see me, but y'all can't touch me. I'm in the air. Like that little shit, that was some Shang Tsung shit. He ain't no hoe. Like Liu Kang, you handled your thing, whatever. But shit, I'm so calm.
I'll see you in a sec, bitch. Bam,
We'll
bam,
be back.
bam, 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 bam.
Now I gotta ask you, Shokan versus the Colossal Kongs.
I mean,
Why
if
even ask?
if fucking Sting can beat their fat fucking asses, I mean, just give it a couple of days and like give them like 2 fucking Three Musketeers bars and just wait for their fucking feet to fall off because of diabetes. Guys, I mean, seriously, how did there's like a fucking vetting process, right? And there's these guys showing up that look like Rick Rude or look like whoever, who look like fucking Mick Foley. And then there's a guy that shows up and is like, "Hey, I've been eating fucking McDonald's for fucking 30 years. Here I am." Like did they train? Were the Colossal Kongs next to the Rock just lifting weights like in that, you know, back in the, whatever the equivalent was? Because I don't see
Lifting
it.
sliders.
Exactly. All they can do is take a drop kick and move their arms. I bet just doing this, they're sweating, they're out of breath. Like it's a shit show. They should be. I mean, for shame, Colossal
You're
Kongs.
big and gross. When can you start? Someone who probably didn't watch Mortal Kombat 1995 when it premiered, probably Tom Hankey. He earned his 300th career save. Legendary reliever. At the time, he played for the Cardinals, and he's known for always wearing his spectacles. Yeah! I bet that's what he said when he got his 300th save. Yeah!
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, that guy looks like a biology teacher. That is not an MLB pitcher, dude. That's crazy. How old
Who's
is
the
that
guy
guy
from ER
Oh yeah, fucking the bald dude.
that was in Revenge of the Nerds? Yeah, it looked like he's his athletic brother or some shit.
That's wild. I saw there's this guy Vsauce that has like these videos that are just like intellectual like thought videos and stuff on YouTube. But there was this one about, and you see, I know people say it all the time. You look at like pictures of people that were like adults when we were kids, and they were like our age, like Frasier's our age. You know what I'm saying? But he looks like that, and we look like this. So there's just something about people back in the day. I don't know what the fuck, was there more iron in the water? What was, or was it just like, what was it? I don't get it.
He looks like the dad from Dennis the Menace, the black and white show.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like somebody, he's like just a fucking guy at like a church that like hands you the fucking bulletin. You know, he's like, oh, hey. It's like Flanders. It's Flanders without a mustache. I mean, that is what that is. But
Yeah,
he was
just
pitching in the
happens to have a
MLB. That
mean
kid's probably
curveball.
like 25. He looks like he's about to join the AARP. It's insane.
That following year, 1996, At the Drive-In releases the album Acrobatic Tenement. And this album, I feel, and I'm an At the Drive-In fan, they hadn't figured out the sound that makes them click. Like I think they should, because this album is more punk rock. It's totally fast paced with some melody. But you said you never heard of At the Drive.
I mean, it sounds familiar, but it wasn't on my radar. I'm sure if it was like famous, I'm sure if it was on the radio, I've heard it, but no. But I suck at like people's names now and shit. I probably did at some point, but bye. That shit's gone.
At the Drive-In split up and they became Mars Revolta or Mars Volta. My bad.
I've heard of that band for sure.
Yeah. Like I said, very fast-paced, high energy performances, man. But also in 1996, SummerSlam 96 aired on pay-per-view. And this is in the Gund Arena at Cleveland, Ohio, where the Cavs used to play. And man, just a little rundown of what happened in SummerSlam 96, man. The free-for-all match, which was the free match before the pay-per-view, was Stone Cold against Yokozuna, and Stone Cold won. Farouk Assad was scheduled to face Ahmed Johnson. for the Intercontinental Championship. And that match didn't happen because Ahmed was legit injured. But he did make an appearance for Root. And he showed up like this, which I still find hilarious. And
See the
just
villain
why.
from Flash Gordon? What's
Or
happening?
Spartacus.
I'm here to fuck your women.
And Owen Hart, he beat Savio Vega. The Smoking Guns beat the New Rockers, the Godwins, and the Body Donnas in a four-way to elimination match for the tag championship. And Psycho Sid beats British Bulldog. He loses again, that British Bulldog. Goldust beats Mark Mara. Hey, that Mark Mara guy, he's showing up again.
Motherfuckers everywhere, dude.
Yeah, but what was hilarious to me was Jerry Lawler facing Jake the Snake Roberts. And Jerry Lawler wins. He beats Jake, and by hitting him over the head with a bottle of Jim Beam whiskey. And he starts pouring whiskey on the man until this man shows up. And, it's Sexual Chocolate himself. Fucking powerlifter. It's like, yeah, what are you doing, Jerry? Get off him.
I mean, that's just a day in the life for fucking Jake the Snake. Don't threaten him with a good time. You're gonna fucking waste some good whiskey. He's gonna what did he just slurp it up?
Yeah, seriously, man. That's adding fuel to the fire.
Salute to Mark fucking Henry, dude. Look at that guy. Looks like the last member of fucking Boys to Men, dude. I wish I could be fat and like handsome like that, dude. That pisses me off. He was athletic though. There's a video of him dunking a basketball.
I saw that.
That shit is insane. So, salute to a handsome fat. He goes against the grain, Steve. There's a fat wrestler I respect.
Is he considered fat? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, technically.
He's fat, dude. Sexual Chocolate. It's a fat Luther Vandross vibe, and him and Rikishi. Those are the fat wrestlers I respect.
But the penultimate match was Mankind against Undertaker in a Boiler Room Brawl. And that match was like 26 minutes. And this was also the first time Paul Bearer turns on his longtime protege, aligning himself with Mankind.
He's into kinky shit. God,
but
Paul
the main
Bearer,
event.
Dude. Oh, God. I mean, how
Once
many
again,
of the
Vader
fucking
pops
people
up.
we were talking about went over to WWF like in 2 years? Jesus Christ, dude. Fucking Vince has no mercy.
Even good old Corny. I just got my racket. I'm going to beat you with it. And Vader, he originally won the match twice. First by countout and then by disqualification. But because WWF championships can only change hands by pinfall or submission, Cornette demanded that the match restart both times. And president at the time, Gorilla Monsoon, allowed this when Michaels agreed. Michaels went on to pin Vader after giving him the sweet chin music, thus retaining his title. I think I'm cute.
Nice. I mean, he kicked him right in the fucking tit.
But man, 1998, man, that was a year of good music. Not just great hip hop, the year of DMX, man. This is the introduction of the rap rock era in a way, because 1998, now Orgy, they released the album Candy Ass. And I'm mentioning them because this was a logo that I remember seeing on t-shirts, on different posters at Shed and Spencer's and whatnot. Because this was like
I forgot about that fucking place. That's hilarious. Orgy, dude. I didn't care for this. There was like a ecstasy vibe to this I didn't care for, like a goth ecstasy vibe.
The kind of guy, black fingernails and all that shit, and fucking heroin needle injection scars. But they did a remake of the Blue Monday. How does it feel to treat me like you do? Now I stand here waiting. And I remember that being the jam, man. And TRL, they would play that often. But also in 1998, Kid Rock releases Devil Without a Cause. I'm going platinum. And he did just that. This is the album. If you're going to get a Kid Rock album, like what's the big deal? I don't know. Why is he doing all? get this album and you'll understand why. Because this is the one that has Welcome to the Party, Ode to the Old School, I Am the Bull God, Bow with the Ball, Cowboy, Only God Knows Why, and Wasting Time. It also has a feature from a young Slim Shady before his first album even came out, and it's called "Fuck Off." And
Hell yeah,
I would just like to recite that verse. Tell the world to hold their breath. They're breathing the wrong air. This world belongs to me and this hippie with long hair. Two white boys who spike, punch, and like noise. Hang around drugs, loud music, and loud noise. Slim Shady and Brown Trucker. Another bunch of fuckers who hate the world just as much as each other. And I'm not leaving this party tonight until I see two naked bitches dancing around drunk, touching each other. This rum and Pepsi got your whole perception of me sketchy. Because when I stage dive, people be afraid to catch me. Because all I do is curse and fuck. So when I do shrooms, you better give me 2 rooms because I'm fucking the first one up. So when you see me on your block, you better lock your cars because you know I'm losing it when I'm rapping the rock guitars. This is for children who break rules, people who straight fool, and every single teenager that hates school. Fuck off. Thank you.
Dude, this CD almost got worn out in my fucking car, Steve. This was the shit. I used to, me and my buddy Ben and my buddy Matt, who were my neighborhood bros, we love Kid Rock so much. I mean, this was the time of radio play. This was even before really you're fucking downloading shit or any of that shit. So we were trying to listen for when it came on Buzz 106.5. We were calling Buzz 106.5 to get them to play Ball with the Ball. I mean, it was a thing. This was the shit. And I also, rest in peace, Joe C. You know, he wasn't the main thing, but I loved a nice little Joe C collab.
He was a nice protege to have with him, man. And he rocked the stage with Kid Rock at the Woodstock 99, which, by the way, is one of the best ones because he started his set with Ba with the Ba. And when he does that, my name is King.
And he comes out in a fur fucking coat,
like,
dude. He comes out in a fucking 100-degree heat in a white Superfly fur fucking coat, dude. It's badass.
That Detroit player shit. Hell yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just angry music. It's good music. I mean, time and place. This is good workout music now. I'm not listening to Kid Rock a lot. There's another guy kind of getting loose with the opinions a little too much. I'm not into it. But
you know, a little Ted Nugent-y. Yeah.
But I will say, one thing I did respect about the man, in terms of seeing him, he keeps his ticket prices low, and he makes sure the concession prices are low so people can afford the shit. And I respect that. I like that. But, you know, I don't need to hear all the Republican nonsense. But throw on fucking a little Ball with the Ball, little fucking whatever off this album. I need to go back and listen to it. I haven't listened to it in a while.
Oh my God. Dude, I will say this, and I'll stand on this, Matt. This is my top 10 Midwestern albums of all time. And that's counting The Bone. That's counting the Marshall Mathers. That's counting all the Motown shit. That's counting the Kanye shit, all the Chicago guys, the Commons, man.
Wow.
Top 10.
Mean, it's like, especially for us, like, I don't know. It's just like we were surrounded, everybody around us. It was just like a thing. And we were right by Detroit, too. I mean, that doesn't mean much to me, really, but I guess it originated from our area. So that was kind of fucking cool, too. But yeah, I mean, even in college, man, we were fucking listening to Kid Rock all the fucking time. I saw Kid Rock. Who did I see him play with? It was him, Incubus. I think it was him and Incubus. It was somebody at the Toledo Storm Arena, but I remember seeing Kid Rock there and just being like, fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, Kid Rock.
You're a lucky bastard, man. I wish I saw that. I got the biggest rock band that I've seen was probably Seven Dust when I was with you and Ugly Jason.
Oh, that shit was fire though too. I saw Seven Dust a couple of times in Toledo. They're fucking, what was it? Lejean, dude. That motherfucker was cool. Is he still a singer of Seven Dust? Is that still a thing?
Fuck yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
But
dude, that one album, you want to talk about fucking album. Damn, sorry to sidetrack, but that one with Denial on it and shit, Jesus. I'm going to go back.
That's off the second. Yeah. But also in 98, Korn releases their fucking masterpiece, Follow the Leader. And that one's got All in the Family, Got the Life, Children of the Corn, BBK, Freak on a Leash. It's even got a cameo from Cheech Marin on the surprise track, the secret track.
Dude, that song Justin on this album too. I don't think you named it in that, but I was actually just listening to that today when I was working out. Dude, that song is, it's like one of those, for some reason this always like locks in my head when I like a song. It's like a perfect like movie preview song. Like when you listen to it, you can see like an action movie unfolding to like this song. It's fucking dope.
So I listened to it over the week, man, and I think it's got a lot of energy in the guitar riff. I mean, like most of this album, man. Could you mimic it or?
No, I can't. I'm so high right now, but Korn just in general, like this was another thing, especially that time period, this like 90s time when they were just like at the height of their power. They could do no wrong, dude. I mean, I think they had a song called, I mean, I'm sorry for my language here, Steve, but they had a song called Faggot. You know, I mean, they were just like doing crazy shit and they were super popular. Like, you know, there were bands that like, oh, you're a nerd if you listen to this, or the cool kids listen to this, or these, and everybody listened to Korn. It could be a goth kid listening to it with you and me and some other guy, Ugly Jace. Everybody was listening to the shit.
They did a song with Ice Cube, man, and
that All in the Family song that's like the duel, him and Fred Durst dueling together. That's what I like too, because those worlds would like mix every once in a while and you knew they were buddies. So that was like kind of like a cool, they would collab and it would like get you excited about the shit, you know?
I hate you, you hate me. Say what? It's all in the family. So, dude. Yeah. I couldn't get enough of Korn. And this was like when I was starting to get into rock, man. Like, it's okay to like these guys. Even being a black boy in the Midwest, middle of America, Ohio.
Yeah, I know. It was just like a weird thing. I mean, I know everybody goes through that, but it was just like, I just remember being like junior high and like those early years in high school where it was just like, I don't know if it's cool to like this band. Or you hear somebody talking shit about whatever. Like I like 311 for a time. And I still, for some, like there's some songs I like and whatnot, but I remember, you know, people dig on them and I was like, oh, I don't want to, yeah, they suck. You know, you got like 2 311 albums in your fucking car and shit.
Man, that's not even fair to 311 though. But you know, this week our heroes of our social media, the usual suspects, Trey Gores, Frankie Lopez in his house, Mr. Digital Comics, and my guy, Hector Aponte III. I swear, man, if I saw you guys here in person, man, I wouldn't let you walk around with your shoes untied. It's like, hey, man, yeah, maybe you got some shoes. I do that for you. I do that for you guys, man. That's how much you mean to me. Now, any ball gags, honorable mentions, reach arounds?
Just want to shout out to the guy who plays Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat. I'm sorry I don't know your name, but you nailed it, bro. You nailed it. So salute to you, King. Whatever you're probably on NCIS or something now. You nailed Johnny Cage. And he's my favorite character, so he always had a place in my heart, Steve.
Only two that I have, man. At the Drive-In also released an album in '98 called In Casino Out, and they're more mellow. And I really feel like you would enjoy some of their songs, man, from this album. And I think it's called Relationship of Command, the one that they dropped in 2000. But also in 1998, on that same day, Mr. Bill, the Mr. Bill Show premieres on Fox Family. Oh, no. And I tried looking for it because I found this shit funny as a kid. I was like, man, let me try this with weed now as an adult, and I just could not find this show.
Wasn't it like a SNL skit? Like what? That's
how it started.
Okay, I was gonna say like that's what it came from, right?
Like late 70s, early 80s, yeah.
I don't remember the show specifically, but obviously we all remember the character, and I think like, yeah, I mean it was a thing. I don't know how it would work for a fucking show because it's like kind of one trick pony, you know. But hey,
where this little Clay character just gets demolished in every scene, like that's funny. And he's like, oh my God, don't do that. Why are you doing that? I just thinking about it, like that's why I try to find it because I think it would be funny with marijuana. But yeah, please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and tell us what your mom cooks. I'm missing good old cooking.
Where your mom cooks, Steve?
Where she cooks, so I can, when she sleep, just hop through the window and
Maybe brush her hair when she's asleep.
yeah, like on some Dennis the Menace shit. Take the apple pie. Oh, thank you, Miss Wilson. Oh. Please check out Over the Culture on Sunday. Crush Gasm with Kendra. B3F Podcast with Joey and Steve. And Don't Worry, B Movie with Amanda and Wade. This is Steve G. Imagine what happened in the 90s.